It's the final event of PBA World Series of Bowling 5. Mike Jakubowski welcoming you to a showcase event featuring America's best youth bowlers, the Teen Masters Grand Championship, head-to-head for a $64,000 college scholarship. Let's meet our finalists.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Palmdale, California, the current Teen Masters Girls Champion, Ashley Dunn. Her opponent from Viera, Florida, the current Boys Teen Masters Champion, Greg Young.
And let's take a look now at the format for the Teen Masters Grand Championship. Top 4 boys and top 4 girls qualified for the Las Vegas finals. Boys and girls championship match winners advance to television in best-of-2 game matches. Expert analysis today from PBA Hall of Famer, 13-time winner Randy Peterson. Randy, there are 2 particular elements of this tournament that are really special competitive issues for the Teen Masters.
Yeah, two little twists we have going on in this event. First and foremost, the equipment that the players were allowed to use. Only 2 bowling balls per player. 1 plastic, 1 urethane. Even though both bowling balls had the same cord, guess what? No free hook from the equipment. And secondly, the oil pattern. 1 lane oiled 36 feet, the other lane oiled 26 feet. And Mike J., this is truly old school because you see the liquid in this graduated cylinder? That's 7 milliliters of oil. The bottom of the black tape is 30 milliliters of oil. That's how much we use on the PBA Tour. The 7 milliliters, that's how much we're using today. This is old school, my friend.
Time now to meet the 3rd person on our ESPN broadcast crew. Kimberly Pressler is standing by with Ashley Dunn and Greg Young.
Well, guys, it looks like we have a rematch on our hands. So, Greg, last year you took the win. What is it going to take to repeat that this year?
Well, it's going to take good shots, and Ashley's obviously a competitor. She's won every year in the girls' division. So as long as I keep my head in the game, don't get too nervous, and just keep it in the head pin, then I'll be fine.
Well, Ashley, Greg seems to be pretty confident. What's your strategy going into today?
Be confident myself, stay calm, 1 shot at a time.
All right. Well, good luck to both of you today.
Some notable names have won the Teen Masters, including PBA titleists Mike Fagan, Jason Sterner, and Ryan Simonelli, as well as up-and-coming stars John Zerbinski and Jake Peters. And there is Mike Fagan, a 4-time PBA champion, here in the audience to root on our teen competitors.
All smiles.
Ashley Dunn will open the match. It's the best of 2. First player to win 2 games will win the $64,000 scholarship. 16-year-old Ashley Dunn, opening shot. And 4-6-7 split.
Yeah, not the start that Ashley's looking for. This ball that Ashley is using is the new PBA Skill 3.0 urethane. Cuts right through the pins, leaving the 4-6-7. There it is right there.
One of only 2 pieces of equipment allowed in the Teen Masters. The PBA Skill 2, which is plastic, and the 3, which is urethane. Open frame 9 out for Dunn. Now Greg Young steps up, the defending champion. Won $64,000 scholarship last year at Grand Central Terminal. Trying to go back-to-back.
Remember, the left lane is the 36-foot pattern. Greg Young using plastic on this right lane, which is only 26 feet in length. And just, you know, that demonstration of how much oil is used. It's like a thimbleful. And that was pretty much what we bowled on back in the 80s.
Outside angle. Pocket hit for Young and an opening strike.
You know, Mike, I've known Greg Young since he was about 8 or 9 years old, and Viera, Florida is only about an hour and 15 minutes from my home in Claremont. And I remember giving this youngster some lessons when he was just a kid. I mean, just a little kid, and I had no idea that he would grow up to be about 6'3" and throw the ball this great. He obviously got some great coaching after I got done with him.
Family support here as well. Mom and Grandma in the audience. Working on the strike. Pocket hit. Ooh, just high, 4-pin.
So plastic ball on the right lane, urethane ball on the left lane. He's playing out on the right lane, playing pretty close to in between second and third arrow right there, and a nice solid start for your defending champion, Greg Young.
Spare ball in hand. Straight up and at him, Randy. Very interesting to see a youth player using that straight technique for spares.
That's because they watched their favorites on the air, and you know they know that if it works for Norm Duke, it's probably okay for them to throw it straight. And when you want to get to the next level, Mike J, you gotta be a really good spare shooter.
Done after the open frame. And that ball's light, a bucket and change.
Ashley using the same urethane ball on both lanes, and again, and her as well, trying to play the outside line on the right lane, the inside line on the left lane.
She's got the words slow and believe to keep her mental outlook straight. Very nice spare, good conversion.
Yeah, the bucket with the 7's not exactly the easiest spare you'll ever shoot.
Ashley Dunn has received some coaching, Randy, from someone you're familiar with. Mark Baker has worked with Ashley in the past.
Yeah, I remember that name. He used to give me a nice beating back when Mark was on tour. When we were kids as well, we grew up through the junior programs together.
That's going to hit high and cross over, but the break and the strike for Ashley Dunn for strike.
But check this out. Little tuggage right there at the bottom. Ball crosses over, and she gets the nice roll into the 5-9 for a strike.
Family support for Ashley Dunn as well. Young's up on the right lane. A reminder, this is a mixed pair. The long pattern's on the left lane, short pattern's on the right lane, so two angles of approach. Big back swap, outside angle, and mixing, carrying the 7, strike for Young.
Yeah, well, that's just a great shot again on the right lane, and Greg comes in light, but that speed and power just kind of shreds the rack.
First opportunity to double belongs to Greg Young. He's on the left lane, bowling on the long pattern.
Well, you heard him say it, Mike J. He said hook, and it was just a slight bit right of target, and that's all it's going to take on this pattern. There's not going to be any help from the lane pattern, and there's not going to be any help from the bowling equipment. It's really interesting to watch the down lane motion of the bowling balls. We're used to seeing the big back end reaction. You're just not going to get that throwing urethane and plastic.
Greg Young is clean through 4, opening game of this best of 2, and will return to South Point for more action in the Teen Masters Grand Championships. Welcome back to Las Vegas and South Point. You know, the Teen Masters is a national competition that's won rave reviews from nearly all who've participated.
I think it's a great event. It's a great way to get a lot of experience.
I wanted to be bowling with the best bowlers in the country.
It's a great competition. You meet a lot of people. It's really fun, and it's really competitive.
I love the idea that everyone has to use the same 2 bowling balls because it shows how people really can move and how their physical game and mental game really affect it, not just the bowling balls.
I like it just because it's fair to everyone. There's no best ball, there's no worst ball. You get 2 and that's it, and better make them work.
I like it a lot. I think it's a lot more fair. I wish more tournaments did that.
It's gonna test your mental game, you know. You make bad shots, you have to make the spare. You have to just calm yourself down and just take it on to the next shot.
I love Teen Masters. It's for my first year. I love it.
What was the question again?
Ashley Dunn trails by 11 pins here, fourth frame. Best of 2 match in our Teen Masters Grand Championship. Dunn steps up on the right lane. There's a 26-foot pattern out there and an opportunity to double. Outside line is going to come up short. 1 in double wood.
Mike, I'd just like to touch on the oil and this Teen Masters format and how difficult the oil patterns are. This is what's happened in our sport now. So all the kids were used to bowling on the easy oil patterns. Then they wanted to be a professional bowler, and then they'd come out on tour and they'd have no chance of beating anybody. And with the inception of the PBA sport patterns, the sport leagues, USBC's sport pattern, this Teen Masters concept, all of a sudden now the young players of today are learning what it's like to bowl on extremely tough oil patterns. Now they come out on tour, now they're prepared, and that's why we have so many great young players on the tour today.
Well, we met several of them earlier, former Teen Masters champions impacting the PBA Tour. Dunn 55 open through the fourth, working now on the left lane. Fifth frame, it's also high, baby split.
Not exactly the way Ashley Dunn would have drawn it up. She was working on a strike after the break. She comes out and misses a spare, goes through the nose, leaving a 3/10. She could go possibly back-to-back open frames. Not what you want to do, especially against a guy like Greg Young.
And another open frame for Dunn here in game 1 of this best of 2. Best of 2 means we'll play 2 games, and a player has to win 2 games to win the Grand Championship. In the event of a 1-1 tie, there would be a roll-off for the title. Great look at the outside approach, and another light hit, 2-pin.
Now, take a look at the last couple of shots on that right lane. He went rip the rack, rip the rack. This one goes lighter. What's happening? Well, something that we don't see a lot of on the big tour, carry down. Remember, the players are throwing plastic balls. Greg's throwing a plastic ball on that right lane, and plastic will drag oil towards the pins faster than any other ball made.
Spare for Young, and stressing the importance of clean frames when bowling on tough patterns. And not only is it a tough pattern, there's the long pattern, 36 foot on the left and 26 foot on the right. So 2 angles of approach for Greg Young, and a big lead here.
You can see the oil ring on that urethane bowling ball because there's no absorption. Not like the balls that we use today. The balls we use today, you wouldn't see that oil ring, and if you would, it would only last for a couple of seconds before the bowling ball would actually absorb the oil. As Greg Young leaves a flat 10 on that right lane. But Mike J, this is a prototypical power game of today. He gets the ball into the swing early. He's got the high backswing, cups it in the downswing, and that's where he applies the power.
And we'll see the approach now at the single pin. Problem on the 10 pins to spare. Young stays clean in this best of 2. Ashley Dunn is 64 open through the 5th frame. Back now on the left lane. It's the longer of the 2. Make that the right lane, the shorter of the 2 patterns. And a pocket shot and a strike for Ashley Dunn.
Yeah, that's what she's looking for. She wants to get back in this game. There's still a little bit of time. She can start stringing them.
Other finishers in the Teen Masters Grand Championships in the Teen Boys Division, Cameron Doyle, Alex Martin, Andrew Herbert. And finalists in the Teen Girls Division, Jessica Malott, Sierra Kanemoto, and Nikki Williams. double as Dunn tries to fight back, cutting the lead to just 24.
Great shot there on the left lane for Ashley. Boy, back-to-back. Nice shots here. And this is what she's looking for. Maybe she had to fight through some of the nerves early on, but she came back with 2 great shots there.
Greg Young now up in the 7th frame, plus 24 here, game 1 of this best of 2 set. And that one falls into the channel.
And we have a different game all of a sudden. As you can see, you got a wider target, and it only takes about a board when you're playing the extreme outside part of the lane to go in the gutter.
Full rack on the spare and open frame 7 count for Young, and the match has changed considerably.
Yeah, it's a 1-pin match now, and you can see that Greg has gone light the last 2 shots on that right lane, so there's indeed carry down. It'll be interesting to see if he continues to try to chase it right, or if maybe he switches to the urethane ball on that lane.
It's smash, 7 goes last.
The big shot coming up for Greg will be in the 8th frame on that right lane, because he's going to have to finish this game with some strikes if Ashley keeps putting the pressure on him.
Dunn looked done, but now she stands in the 8th frame with a strike. She can take the lead.
Whoa.
That one gets away, crossing over double wood, 3 in the 9.
Barely caught the head pin running away, leaves the 3-9, and not exactly a routine or easy spare conversion. See, this one's going to be left of target, and there's no hold. It's going to take all of her skills just to make this and avoid an open frame here in the 8th.
Pretty shot, takes him straight back. Spare for Dunn in the 8th
frame. Just a great spare to keep her in this game. She can strike out for a possible 192. Greg Young still has a possible 205. All you have to do is win the game. Doesn't matter by how many. But we've got a tight ball game right now. And all it took was a gutter and then 7 out by Greg Young, who was perfectly clean prior to the 7th.
That's high, 3-6-10 for Dunn.
Well, she's not making it easy for herself. The 3-6-10 is no bargain either, but she sure made the 3-9 look pretty easy.
Perfect spare.
Well, she's proved she's a good spare shooter, and you have to be if you want to contend. Let's see what adjustment Greg Young makes here on this right lane.
Greg Young, +6 foundation frame. Can right the ship with a double. And a washout, 1, 2, 4, 10.
He's got to either soften up on that lane or he's got to change balls and go to the urethane ball. But that plastic ball right now is hydroplaning on this right lane. Remember the ball reaction he had the first 2 shots, the 1st and the 3rd frame? The ball came up just enough to tickle the 1-3. Now it's basically just whipping right through the head pin. Great washout spare there.
Spare for Greg Young.
Well, this is just a great shot by Greg. Last thing he wanted to do was an open frame and give Ashley Dunn the lead sitting on the bench. Now Greg needs 2 strikes here in the 10th frame to win the first game.
That one skates Looks wide. Also washout, 1-2-10.
Looks like he's just getting faster and faster. Greg is a little amped. He obviously knew what the score was, and he just flamed that one right by the head pin again. Needs to cover the washout one more time to give himself a chance. Otherwise, Ashley Dunn could just mark in the 10th to win.
Open frame for Greg Young at a 160, opening the door wide open for Ashley Dunn to go up 1-0 in this best of 2.
She needs any mark.
So a big turnaround here in game 1. The family looking on. Support for Ashley on the tops of her shoes. Can she get a mark to pick up game 1? And a crossover. That's a mark. Two pins will do the trick.
Wow, what a turn of events. I mean, Greg Young just looked like he was going to just bowl a solid, at worst, 190 game, and then absolutely lost the right lane, and then followed it up with a washout on the left lane.
Ashley Dunn will take game 1 of this best of 2 and step closer to the Teen Masters Grand Championship. Game 2 coming up when we return to South Point.